Ciao Bella, welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Today we are going to put together a puzzle of Nefertiti. Nefertiti, that's what we're doing today. This is a 150 piece puzzle. And I got this when I was in Berlin with my son. So, oh, don't fall. I actually have a whole nother video of a different puzzle that I was trying to put together of something else that I got while I was there. And that puzzle has driven me insane. So we're not doing that puzzle anymore. I have put together the border and different sections of the inside of the puzzle, and I can no longer distinguish between the grays and the blacks and so forth. So yeah, nope, I just put all of the other pieces that were not the single pieces, I put them back in the little tube, and I have not finished that video, and I don't know if I will ever finish that video. I might just keep it in timeout. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I had this other puzzle, and I thought I could do that with you all, because I got it on the same day. I just at a different museum. So when I was in Berlin with my children, this was a trip for my son. He came for winter break, and it was amazing to see him, but I told him that, you know, if he wanted to, we could go somewhere that he would like to go, because he always kind of gets frustrated that, like, we're going places and doing things, and he's not able to be there. And you know, that happens as you grow up and you're no longer able to be with your parents all the time. Sometimes you're really, really glad that you're not there, and then sometimes you're like, oh man, I wish I could do that with you. And I feel the same way, because I miss being able to go to his concerts. I miss being able to watch him play, and as loud as that gum instrument is, I miss hearing him practice. He did bring it when he was visiting with us, and it was really, really lovely to hear him practice again. I am sure my neighbors did not appreciate it, but as he's not here on a regular basis, it's not something they have to put up with every single day. When we were in North Carolina, we had a house, so I didn't share walls with anyone. So, I mean, you could still hear him outside, even if he had his window closed. If you were in the backyard, you knew that he was practicing. But it wasn't like you were right up against it. So when we went to Germany, we stayed in Berlin, and we did this thing called Museum Island. So there are actually 5 museums on this little area, and one of them was closed. It starts with a P. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's like the Pergamon, I think. And it's not going to be open again until like 2027. So they're doing like extensive renovations and remodeling and all that good stuff. So we could only go to 4 of the museums, and Google lies a lot to, and it's not Google's fault necessarily, but when times of things are opening and closing and so forth, because it said on Google that all the museums were open I think Tuesday to Saturday, these particular times, and Sunday, this particular time. Well, that was not true because they close early on Thursdays, and we were there on a Thursday. So we only got to go to 3 of the 4. Now, we did get to go to the 4th one for something else. We went to a classical music concert that my son wanted to go to, and it happened to be in the 4th museum, which was fine. So we did get to go in and see that. And each museum has something a little different. Now, I'm not going to do a bunch of pictures from the museums because people don't tend to like them. Even if I narrate them, some people like them, don't get me wrong. But if people aren't going to watch them, I put and I know I say this all the time, and those of you that watch the videos, you love the videos, and I appreciate that, but it takes a ton of effort to edit all of the photos, especially if I'm going to do like a voiceover or talk about them while I'm showing you the pictures, or even if I'm just talking about the different things that we did while showing you pictures and they're not like spot on exactly what we were doing when I'm talking about it. It still is a lot of effort, and I don't make any money on this. I don't make any money on this channel. I do it because I like to spend time with you guys. I like to keep you guys company while you're cleaning your house or doing your laundry or crocheting or any other kind of crafting that you might be doing. And if you're not going to watch it, then I'm not spending time with you. And if I'm not spending time with you, why am I making the video? I mean, I have the memories, I have the photos, I have the, I can keep those to myself. And I know some people have said, well, why don't you make a different travel channel? I'm not making money off of this channel. And I put out videos 3 days a week. And if I'm not making money on this, and it's already a lot of effort, why would I do that to myself again? And I'm not saying this to push anyone to like do anything you don't want to do. If you don't want to watch the video, don't watch the video. But I'm not going to put in the effort anymore to share all of that with you. Like, I can share the puzzle with you and talk to you about what we saw just as well as I can show you the 100 and something pictures that I took. I don't have to show you the pictures. I don't have to take you on a tour of the museum. I would like to, but it's not getting enough watch time for the effort that goes into it. And it is a lot of effort. So, like I said, I may do like travel videos for like if I go into a yarn shop or something, I may do that. But I'm not going to do them for all of the things that I've done. Like if I go on an MWR trip or if I do something like that, I'm not going to do every single one that I go on, just because I have a little book light here that I'm using to help me see better. So that's why the light is like changing, because I'm trying to look at the tube and see the pattern for like the necklace and so forth. But if it's not something that you guys are going to be interested in watching on a regular basis. I'm not going to put out the effort. And I'm sorry to those who do watch the videos on a regular basis. But I'm just not going to, like I said, put forth all of that for such a little output. I want you all to enjoy. I want you all to want to watch. And if that's not what you want to watch, you're showing me that by not watching it. And I was trying for those people who wanted to see it. But like I said, it is a ton of effort. And if not a lot of people are going to do it, I don't want to, that's not where I'm going to spend my time. I will spend my time sharing things with you all, but just things that you want to see, if that makes sense. I may not build this. I know some people, it irritates them if you don't do all of the edges first. But I'm finding, as you see, all of these edges are little monochromatic pieces. And I'm finding that that's where I start to go insane, is all the little monochromatic pieces. So if I work on the pieces that don't drive me nuts, then I can do those pieces and then add the other pieces later. I can add the edges. I know one person in particular does not like the me putting together pieces that are not the edge. I'm probably going to get yelled at. Why didn't you do the edges first? I'm sorry. I like puzzles, but like I said, I'm finding the little monochromatic pieces are getting harder for my eyes. And maybe that's because I'm becoming an old lady. But anyway, back to this museum. This museum, and I may say it wrong because it was in German and I don't know how to speak German. It's Neues. I would say like Neues Museum. And this particular museum had a lot of like Egyptian, Byzantine, some of the older civilizations, some of their pieces. And that was really interesting to see because you didn't have, I think that goes there. You didn't have all of the how do I put it? Shiny stuff, right? Some of these things were battered and well worn and so forth. And one of those things that was in such a condition was this bust of Nefertiti. And this bust is 3,000 years old or more. And it was so heavily guarded. I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, I could not fathom, right, how well guarded this thing was. You could not take pictures of it. You could not do any of that. So it was definitely a piece that you had to walk up and appreciate and move on. They were not kidding around when they said you could not take pictures. I saw them, they didn't take things out of people's hands, but they would like throw their hand up in front of your photo. And they were not having any, like, you were not going to, sorry, I hit the microphone. You were not going to get in the, get the pictures. I mean, I'm sure there are people that snuck the pictures, don't get me wrong. Like, they definitely had their opportunities, but people, by and large, were not, not allowed to take the photos. Because they were very, very strict. And, I mean, as they should be. I believe, now don't quote me because I'm not 100% certain, but I believe this is actually on loan. And it is, the Egyptian government does not want pictures taken of it. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, please. But like I said, I think that is the case, because the only other time I've seen something where people are that protective is when we were in Greece, and we were in the museum for the Parthenon, and there was a whole section that were like religious, religious pieces. So you couldn't take photos of those. Like, you were just not allowed to take photos of those. And people would walk up to you and put their hand in front of your camera. So they're not allowed to touch you, right? Obviously. But they can stop you from taking your photos. And if that means that they have to put their hand in front of your camera, then that's what they do. If that means that they have to get a little loud with you, then that's what they do. They are not above doing that at all. They do not have a problem with it. But it was interesting to see all of that art and all of the pieces that were collected. Now, I don't know if some of this was, I don't know if that goes there. It might go there. I don't know if some of that was things that, like, Germany, in quotation mark, owns, or if it's things that they have on loan. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I would like to think that they have it on loan from the Egyptian government, and they know that it belongs to the country of Egypt and all of those things, but I do not know that for certain. I'm sure I could look it up, but I do not know for certain. That goes there. Trying to follow the little bead pattern, if you can see that. So of the museums that we went to, one was like an art gallery, one was like sculptures. This one was, like I said, some Egyptian and Byzantine and other ancient civilizations. Now, we did not go through all of the museums, like all parts of all of the museums, because there was no way you could do it all in one day. So we kind of picked what we really, really wanted to focus on, and then we were just like, okay, well, that's what we're going to do. And then we will just be glad that we saw it. Like, we're just going to be glad that we got to be a part of it, I suppose. I don't think that goes there. Because, like I said, there was just too much in each museum to see completely and totally. So I thought that making a plan and saying, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, this would be the best course of action, would be helpful. And it was. It was very helpful for us. We enjoyed it immensely. And my daughter didn't get too bored, which was a plus, because she tends to, as most kids do, right, get a little bored with things that are not interesting to her. I mean, and that's human nature too, I suppose. I mean, I'm sure there are things that you don't want to do that bore you, and you're like, I'd rather not, thanks. So definitely taking that into consideration as well. And we did build in some things for her that she would be interested in. So we went to, like, on a different day, we went to, like, the Natural History Museum that they had there. And then my son is, I know I've said this before, but if you're new here and you happen to be watching this puzzle video, my son is a music major and he loves classical music. And so we went to a different town, so not Berlin. We had to catch a train. We had to catch a train to another town that he wanted to go to. And it took like, I don't know, 2 hours or something to go to this town. And it was full of there were so many different musicians. I had no idea that, like, all of these musicians even existed in this place. In this, like, one town, right? And I'm trying to get the name of the town to come up so I can tell you what it is. Oh, Leipzig. Leipzig. So we saw the Schumanns. They're a married couple. We saw what was the other thing that we saw? Mendelssohn. We saw, oh goodness gracious, we were gonna see Wagner, but it was closed. We saw Bach Museum, and right next to the Bach Museum is the church that he worked in, Thomas Church, and we got to do all of that. Now that was a really long day because we were not staying there, so we got up early, got on the earliest train that we could, and we went there. We're there the whole day. It was a little frustrating because I don't know the train system there, and so I went up to the counter, like, the first day and got, like, you could get like a 3-day pass or this pass or whatever pass. So I got that for while we were in Berlin. And then I got the tickets for Leipzig, and I asked specifically for a flex ticket because I didn't know what time we were going to be finished, and I didn't know what time we were going to like be ready. Like maybe we wanted to do it a little later. Maybe we wanted to walk around more. Man, I had no idea. I was like, I've never been to this town. I don't know what's in it. So I asked the lady specifically, like I said, for a flex ticket. And I thought that's what she gave me. It said flex on the little paper. And we get on the train. And we're just minding our own business. And the person who comes along to check your ticket, he came along and he was checking the ticket. And then my son had them. So I hear him like asking, and my son, of course, doesn't speak German. I don't speak German. And I told my son, I was like, if somebody comes up to you and they start speaking to you in German, just politely, you know, tell them that you don't speak German and that ask them if they speak English. And of course he did speak English. Being on the train, I'm sure you have to speak at least some of multiple languages. And he kept saying, like, this is you're on the wrong train. And I kept trying to tell him, it says flex right here on the paper. And he was like, no, there's no flex. There's no flex on here. And I was like, oh my God, yes there is. Like, no, this is a flex ticket. But he gave us this big long piece of paper, like this big receipt thing. And my son was really embarrassed because he was like, Mom, I thought you got the right ticket. And I was like, I thought I did too. That's why I went to the counter. Like, and I wasn't trying to do it on like the app or they had like little machines. And I was like, I don't want to screw it up. So let me get the right thing, right? Let me do it correctly. And I thought that's what I did. Apparently not. So I ended up having to pay a fine. It wasn't a big fine. I just had to email them, email this, on this website. I had to email them, and then they, told me, they emailed me back and said, we can't prove whatever, can you send us the receipt? So I, of course, sent them the receipt for the train. And, cause originally, so like the fines in Germany are like at least half the price of the tickets. Well, those tickets were not, they weren't super expensive, but when you think about, when I think about the price of tickets that I've paid in the past, this was much more expensive than tickets that I've paid for in other places. So I was like, this is going to be, if I have to pay half the price of the total, that's going to be an astronomical amount of money. So thankfully, I did not have to pay that much money. That was nice. But I did, that fits there. I did have to pay, it was like 50 euros. So all in all, it wasn't as much as I thought it would be, but it was still pretty pricey. So that was a little bit frustrating, but we didn't let it put a damper on our time there. The other thing that we did, and even if I was doing videos, I would not do a video of this. We did go to a concentration camp. So this was like a workers camp. It wasn't like a No More Life camp. But it was still very hard to be there and see the conditions and see some of the things that were there. My grandfather was in the Army, the U.S. Army during World War II, and he would tell me lots of things growing up about things that happened and the way things were and so forth. And it was always really difficult to hear, because those are things that you would never think would happen to anyone ever. And they did happen, and they happened to a lot of people, and it was just beyond anything that I could ever think would be possible. And yet it happened. So, being there was, it was really, really emotional for me. And, my son as well, because he got to hear some. I mean, my son was 4 when my grandfather passed away, so he didn't hear like some of the things that I heard, but he knew about it, and I always would tell him, you know, when he would study things like that in school, I would share with him some of the things that my pop told me, because I think it's important that you don't forget. I think it's important to remember all of the things that happened, because there are so many atrocities that take place, and you don't think about what they mean if you're not involved. So keeping that fresh in our minds and in our hearts, to me, is important. So I would try to do that with him whenever possible. And because of that, that's why we went to the camp. And I was trying to think if there was anything else. The food, I guess I could talk about that. The food was really lovely. We stayed in a place that was almost like, now I don't know this right for certain because I don't know the areas of Berlin, but it felt very much like it was like the Middle Eastern hub of the city, because there was Middle Eastern food everywhere. Now, it was delicious, but it was like everywhere you turned, it was this kebab place and this Turkish place and this Syrian restaurant and this Iranian restaurant, and it was, we didn't try all of them obviously, but it was very, very good. But my son did not get to try a lot of traditional German food. We did have it in a couple of places, but he didn't get to try a lot of it, and so he was kind of like, oh, I really wanted to do that. And so we had it in, I think we had 2 like traditional German meals, and that was it. So it was kind of like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Like, I wish I could have, done more for you in that regard. But it's okay. And we did go to a really nice Asian restaurant. I think it was Japanese. We went to a Japanese restaurant. And my son adores sushi and all things like that. I am not a fan of sushi. I do not enjoy that. And that is okay. But I am not, it doesn't go there. I'm not gonna, deny him going because I don't like to eat it, so I just pick something else off the menu. I'll eat like the rice and the beef or the pork or the chicken, and they usually have something like that. And my daughter loves like miso soup, and she loves trying all kinds of vegetables. So she is a very adventurous eater, and they were very kind in having like kid portions of things. So I was like, can I have this, but like kid size? And they were like, yes, of course. And they did a couple of different things for her. almost like its own little appetizer. So like they gave her some of this and some of that and some of this and some of that. And that was really nice for her to have. And that was pretty much... Oh, that doesn't go there. Maybe it goes this way. No. This is part of... Oh. I'm trying to get the band of the hat. The band, I'm trying to get that done. So when I turn this around, it's going to look like I'm working on this puzzle upside down. Because the camera is actually up on the front of the mat that I'm working on. So it's going to look like I'm doing the puzzle upside down. I'm not, but when I flip it, it's going to look like I am. Because the top of it's up here and the camera is like right in front of it. So, oh well. With this new setup where I have the hutch on the desk, it is a little more tricky to, oh no, come back. It's a little trickier. It's a little trickier to work with sometimes. I want to say that goes right there, but it doesn't. Does this go right there? Maybe it does. Look at that. And then. I wonder if anybody knows what movie that's from. and then. That's okay. Nope. That doesn't go there. Oh, okay. I may have to press pause on this because I am 37 minutes in. And I've enjoyed chatting with you all, but I definitely have to get... And this is the problem. Like, I started talking and then I like literally was just talking and not putting the puzzle together. Because I can't focus on two things at once, apparently. So I will have to come back, and plus it's 7:30 at night, so I have to get ready for work. I have work tomorrow, and I might just have to stop the video, and then I'll try not to work on the puzzle, because I know sometimes that's frustrating for some of you if I work on it and then come back and it's done. Oh, I want to say that goes right there. It might not go right there. But like I said, I do need to get ready for work. So I am going to, well, I'm going to stop the video. I'm not going to press pause because then I might lose it. But I'm going to stop the video and then try to remember to turn it back on when I work on the puzzle again. But I got quite a bit done. I have some pieces put together over here on the side that you can see. Different pieces of the head dress, like the hat that she has on. And then I have like her ear and things like that put together. The camera is just not wide enough to show you all of that. So with that, I will see you again when I come back to do this puzzle. Bye for now, guys. Okay, y'all, I am back. I moved all of the pieces that I had been like sorting together off to the side into the center. So I pretty much have her face and hat or headdress or whatever you call it done. And now I am trying to figure out the rest of that and then the edge pieces. So we will build out from there. But I thought I would get you guys back in here so we can do some more of this together. What do you think? Alrighty. So it's been a couple of days for me. I haven't had the opportunity to get back to this. It's been some really interesting weather. We actually saw some funnel clouds. Excuse me. We saw some funnel clouds. By one of the bases. So that was interesting because that's not something we see here often, obviously. And it was difficult, to say the least, to get things accomplished, finalized, so forth and so on. I don't know that that goes there. I think it goes further up. But we'll see. So with all of the weather, I mean, everything was fine. There was no damage. There was no anything. But living as I have in a place where there were lots and lots of tornadoes and the like, having that was interesting. People were reacting oddly. I mean, I guess it's not really odd. I shouldn't say that when they've never experienced those kinds of things. It was odd for me to see their reactions just because I was like, "Oh no, that's a tornado. It goes like this. This is how this happens." And they were very shocked to see those things and to go through those things. So I think this goes here for the ear. But anyway, tell me how your day's been going in the comments. How has your week been? If you're watching this on the weekend, how has your weekend been going? It's not the weekend for me. It is a weekday, but I find myself with a little bit of time. My daughter is doing her tutoring, so I have, I don't know what that is. I have some time to focus on this because she doesn't need my attention. So I thought it would be nice to pop in and do some of it with you. Just a moment. Soon as I said she didn't need my attention, she comes knocking. It's almost like she heard me. It's almost like she heard me. Almost. What do you think? Kids have the biggest knack for that, you know? Like the minute you think, oh no, they're not gonna need me, bam! They show up and they're like, hey! I don't know that that goes there. That looks weird. I might have to take that out. I have been questioning this bottom piece and how I put it all together, but it seemed to fit at the time. Maybe this just doesn't go here. Maybe that goes there, but those other pieces don't go where I put them. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. I'm trying to get this hat all put together. And it is interesting to see how it all works out. So many of the pieces you have to twist and turn, but there's not very many solid blue pieces left. So that's a gray with a little bit of blue. So maybe that goes, no, it's gotta go here. Yep, okay. Now the hard part is gonna be well, that would make sense to go there, but maybe it doesn't go there. Because I didn't do the edges first. So the hard part is for me is gonna be those edges, right? Because now I have, maybe it goes there. It doesn't look right though. What do I know? The headpiece is all messed up, so it could go anywhere and everywhere. Because I think the hat gets bigger as you go up to the top. That's what it looks like anyway. It looks like it gets wider. So I'm trying to see if that should have some, oh, what do I know? What do I know? Not like I've ever done this before. Okay. I don't know. I've actually had to take my glasses off for this because my glasses are so scratched, you guys. I cannot see hardly anything through my glasses. Like, it is ridiculous how much I cannot see through my glasses. For this. Like, it is so... Nope, that doesn't go there. It's so difficult. Because normal day to day, it's not too bad, but like I'm trying to focus on all the different lines on this puzzle. And my vision, trying to focus on the lines, like all these different little lines here. My glasses were making them go all crazy, and so the minute I took my glasses off, I could do this puzzle so much better. And then I have a pair of old glasses that I keep down here just in case, you know. I know they say don't keep them, but my prescription hasn't changed too much over the years, so when I have that the older glasses, I put those on, and it was a little hard to see, but the lenses were clearer, so I could see better through those. which was interesting, because then I didn't worry about the I don't know if that goes there or not, but I'm putting it there. What was I gonna say? I didn't worry about the scratches. Well, that's the word I was gonna use. I didn't worry about the scratches on my lenses because I could see just fine. Okay, I'm really not certain about this. That goes here. Maybe that goes there? I don't know. So many interesting things. But that doesn't go there. It feels like it should, but maybe this actually goes here like this. And then this goes... Oops. This goes like this. No. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe it goes like that. But that also doesn't make sense. If I'm looking at this... Oh, you can't see. If I'm looking at this, that doesn't make sense. Maybe you see where it goes, and I don't see where it goes. But this is the problem that I had with the the puzzle that was so gray and white that I could it was hard for me to see the edges of the puzzle, and all the puzzle pieces fit together. So it was like, oh, this fits together, but then I would try to make something else and it wouldn't fit, and then it would be frustrating because it wasn't working. So that was difficult to get that to go through. So then let's see. Does this go here? Maybe. And then maybe this goes here. But that seems like it goes out really far. Oh, maybe it does. I don't know. See, that is maybe too light. Maybe that doesn't go there. See, and that looks uneven. Oh, you can't see that. It looks uneven right there. You see that? It doesn't feel like that goes there. And maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Does this go there? Because it feels like it should be even with the... So even that looks weird. Just doesn't look even. But it fits. Like, there's no problem for it to fit. That's a gray piece. See, that's the most even piece, but what do you want to bet that piece doesn't go there? What do you want to bet that piece doesn't even go there? Nope. 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 See? Oh, I don't know. Because this is the other edge piece. But every time I put that on there, it just feels like it doesn't fit. Okay. See, that doesn't fit there. But that's literally the only solid blue piece I have left. All of the other blue pieces, all of the other pieces that have blue are blue and black, or blue and gray. This is driving me bananas. So that goes there. That goes there. See, this is what I'm talking about. They all almost fit. But then they don't fit. So that piece needs to have black on it. And I don't see it. No! I don't see it. I'm not seeing an edge piece that has... Ooh, it has... Oh, that doesn't go there. Please don't tell me I lost a piece. I would be very upset. See, that doesn't go there. Oh, wait, maybe this doesn't go there. This piece doesn't look like it fits. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, maybe this piece goes here. Doesn't go right there. Maybe it goes here. Oh my lord. See, I would have had that all wrong. So does this go here like this? It does. Look at that. Maybe y'all saw that, but I didn't. Goodness gracious. Okay, so now I still need this piece. That's part that I'm worried about, because I don't see it. I do not see it. I do not see it. That can't go there. That can't go there. Hold on. Oh, man alive. Okay. That goes there. This goes here. I'm gonna drive myself crazy. I'm gonna drive myself insane in the membrane. Okay, so then this piece goes here, I think. Maybe not. Feels like it should. Maybe this piece does then. Nope, that's too tall. Now I feel like I need to count my pieces, because am I missing some? I shouldn't be. Oi, oi, oi. I might have to count my pieces, because it looks like there's a big blue piece missing. Okie dokie. Does that go there with her nose? And does this go here? No, maybe. I don't know. Go here. And then this goes here? Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to put it where you guys can see it. But see, look, it feels like there's a piece missing right there. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to count my pieces and see, maybe I can find, there's not a piece in the tube. See if maybe I can find out what might be missing. Because my sweater might have picked up a couple of pieces. I don't think so, but maybe. Alright, I'm going to pause, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. That took a really long time. It did get caught on my sleeve. It was caught on my sweater sleeve, so I took my sweater off. So hopefully it will work out better. Okay, so that actually is, because I have this light, and then this one. My phone is doing all kinds of stuff. But if I shine that, then it's hard for you guys to see. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off. Anyway, I was like, surely I'm not missing a piece, and then I thought I found the piece, and I thought I turned the camera back on, and then I didn't, and this puzzle has been one big CF. But I do have the top done. Yay me! Now I'm just trying to, so I'm going to move this up and then the bottom part. So I'm not sure about these pieces. Like, I'm sure about this, but like, I'm not sure about this. It just looks so uneven to me. Oh, you can't see it. It just looks so uneven to me right there. You still can't see it. Okay, right here. That looks uneven. And it bothers me that it's not the way it's supposed to be. But I guess it'll get sorted out in the end. So this, I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like that goes there. Oh, okay. This is like a red piece here. Feels like it should go here. Okay. And then maybe this piece goes, nope, that's upside down. That's not gonna go there. It's gonna be a darker piece. Maybe this piece. Okay. Man, oh man, oh man. This feels so weird. Maybe this goes here. It's like her neck just shrinks right in. You still can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna move this top part over. And then I'll move this into view. And then maybe it won't be so difficult to see. Move some of these edge pieces over. And then there. That's kind of where I am. Alright. Move some of these pieces over. Maybe that, I don't know. I don't know with some of these edge pieces because it fades like from white to gray, or white to light gray to dark gray to black. So that's kind of helpful, but also some of these pieces, like that piece, and if I shined a light on it, it would look white, and then I wouldn't know if it was light gray or white. So that's a little frustrating. So those are her lips. And I've got to figure out her nostrils. All kinds of other things. That does not go there. Abort, abort. I thought it might go there, but it does not go there. That goes there. Nope. See, and then this is like skin tone and white, and very confusing to try to figure out. And then see, it's starting to go up into that gray color. Maybe you can't see that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Nope. That feels like it's part of her. Now I gotta find her nose. If I could get her... Maybe that is her nose. Hold on, wait a minute. Maybe I had the lips upside down. I did have the lips upside down. Oh me, oh my. And then if the lips are upside down... No. Because this darker piece, that's her neck. There's like a whole big shadow, that's her neck. And so I'm trying to get, no, that definitely doesn't go together. All these darker pieces. Here. Some of this is her like chin and her lip. Let's see. Well, that can't be right. That's not gonna go there. Maybe this goes here though. No. That does not work. Okay. Then that goes there. And that can't go there like that. Let's see. That's not going to work right there. Maybe this is part of the chin? See, I want this to go right there. But see, there's that piece there that tells me it doesn't go there. So then maybe it's part of something that goes right there. But then what goes right there? I'm just rambling on to myself. Rambling on. Oh, that looks like a piece of her chin. Whoa! Camera down! Camera down! I'm moving it, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Moving it. I'm still moving it. Hold on. Oh my lord, what happened? Oh my hat. Okay, that's a whole nother... Okay. Alright, let me move that back. Move that. Sorry, you all. Oh. I'm trying to see how this would go into her chinny chin chin. That just looks weird. But she needs a side of her face, doesn't she? That does not work. Don't take it apart. Okay. Alright, so now I'm at the point where, let me get all of the skin tone pieces, and then all of the sorry, I'm just trying to move all of the knot. I had them all separated and then I moved them all around. So I'm trying to get all of the edge pieces and the not edge pieces separated again. Because when I was looking for that one blue piece and I was counting all the pieces, I moved them all the way around. Okay, so that goes back here. Then I'm going to move this down, move these over, and then we're going to bring this back here, and then we can start putting, I don't know that that goes there. We can start putting things together. Okay, so this one probably needs to go on this side. This one goes on this side. This one, I think goes right here, maybe. Nope, just kidding. Maybe it goes on this side. Okay. This one goes, maybe this one goes here. Okay. This has to go somewhere in the middle. That just feels really long. Does that feel really long to you? Like there's more pieces missing in the middle of her neck. But there shouldn't be. Because that doesn't go there. That can't go there. That definitely goes there, because that's her chin line. Does that go there? Okay, so now we have to figure out where all of these pieces go. Okay. There. Puzzle's done. See, it's done. She's done. She's all done. See? Look. She's all done. Done. No, now I have to figure out the edges. And I know they're like, that's the hardest part. It is. but I decided not to do it right away, so that's my own fault. I think this goes here, and then this goes here, and this goes here. And this goes here. Yep, there we go. And then we get progressively lighter as we go down. But I don't know that I have enough pieces for that. That's not... trying to see if that's actually white or it feels kind of gray. And that goes there. And then this goes here. This goes... See, I could have it all wrong. Maybe, but then I feel like this is not right. Alright, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I did get it. Okay, so this piece goes here. And this goes here. What do you think so far, guys? I don't like this down here. This feels weird to me. But press on we shall. Press on we shall. No. No, that doesn't go there. That goes somewhere else. That goes here. Maybe? Or here? Maybe that goes there. It feels like maybe it goes there. I don't know. No, that's too dark. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it goes... Jesus. It goes there. The top of her ear. This goes there. Okie dokie. I just tried that piece there, didn't I? I just did that. Don't do that again. Okay. This piece maybe. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. No. Okay. Nope. Nope. Nope, that doesn't go there. This does. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. This is going to be a really long video. Nope. It's just trial and error at this point. I'm just flipping it around and seeing what sticks. That's all I'm doing. Because they're all very similar color at this point. And I am too exhausted from dealing with this puzzle to be able to put forth a ton of effort. I wish I could say it was different, but it's not, and I'm tired. I'm just ready to be done with it. But I did this one a lot faster than I did that other one that doesn't feel right. That I was working on. No. It's, no. No. So there. Not that way. Maybe the other way. Okay. 2 more pieces. No. No. Nope. See, that doesn't fit. Did I mess up somewhere? Maybe. Oh. This is what I'm talking about. They all look like they fit. And then they don't. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to call it done. She's done. She's complete. She is wonderful and beautiful. And that is all. And like I said, if you've actually watched all of this video, like I said at the beginning, when we went to the museum in Germany, you're not allowed to take pictures of her bust. They will put their hands in front of their camera. They will yell at you and all of that. So this is what I have to remember her by. And yeah, that's it. So if you've stuck through this video, bravo for you. And I hope to see you again very soon. Until then, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!